Hey guys, welcome to another 5 First Impressions video. So today we're going to be trying a product by Marc Jacobs, Sonia Kashuk, Prescriptives, l.a.girl, and Colourpop. So if you're interested in seeing what they are and how they work out, then just keep watching. And I don't have my full voice back. I'm getting over a cold, so bear with me if I sound a little bit froggy. Okay, so the first thing that I have to try is the Genius Gel Supercharged Foundation by Marc Jacobs. I picked this up at Marshall's for $14.99 the other week, and I believe this retails for about $52. So I couldn't pass up this. I love the Marvelous Mousse glass jar foundation that I also picked up at Marshall's or TJ Maxx, so I wanted to give this one a try. I picked up the shade Bisque Medium. I know it's going to be a bit too dark for my skin tone, but I wanted to try out the formula because this will probably be my summer shade, so let's give it a try. It says it has a radiant finish, buoyancy gel, sheer genius. That's all the information they're going to give me. But it comes in their typical packaging with the sleek black lid, the silver, and the frosted glass container. Okay, so I have my Tweezerman sponge and I have my Bella & Bear Lynx Kabuki brush, so we'll give these a try. Got hair's pulled back, so let's pump a little bit on the back of my hand and we'll try the sponge side first.
Okay, that's one pump already done.
The color is actually not that off. I mean, in a couple months, this is going to be the perfect color for me. Okay, so one layer on this side. I would say it's like a light to medium coverage. It does say that it's a radiant finish, sheer genius. So I'm guessing this is more on the lighter coverage side. But let me try for a second layer and see if we can build it up a bit. Okay, you can kind of see the line down the middle of my neck where I have the foundation and where I don't. My skin's much lighter on this side than this side, but it's not that off that I can't make it work. So going in with the brush on the other side, let's see how this side applies. That's one pump. It covered about the same amount of skin that the other side did with one pump. So again, light coverage with one coat on this side, so I'm going to double it up and see if I can get the same coverage as this side with the brush. I'm getting a little bit of brush stroke, so I'm going to clean it up with my sponge. Okay, I'm feeling like I got less coverage with the brush side than I did with the sponge side, so I'm just going to add a little bit more with my sponge just to kind of even the sides up. Okay, here is what it looks like with about 2 layers on the entire face. It definitely has like that dewy, radiant finish. I do feel like it oxidizes just a little bit, but it is like a gel. It blends in beautifully. Even with the brush, I didn't have a ton of brush marks like I normally do with most foundations. Since it was such like a wet gel-like formula, I felt like it just kind of settled on its own. It didn't really need much help or assistance from the brush. So I do like that. Definitely nice and smooth. I would say medium coverage. I think that's probably the limit. I don't think you're gonna want to put more layers on, otherwise it's gonna start looking thick. It's not accentuating my pores, it hasn't settled into lines. It just looks nice and dewy and fresh right now. So let's move on to product number 2, which is concealer. And today we're trying out the Colourpop No Filter Concealer, and I recently watched a swatch video of this, and I'm wondering if my shades are going to be too dark. I have 15 light neutral and 10 fair neutral, so let's give these a try. So we have light neutral and fair neutral, so let's see what these look like. Here's 15 light neutral. That actually would work for the face, I think. And then here's number 10 fair neutral. Okay, I think that these will work. Wow, this looks like it oxidized so fast. Definitely got darker, but for today's face makeup, I think that this will work. And then I'll go with the light neutral on the face. But it looks like it gets so much darker. I mean, even look at this one. It went from like light to peach instantly. Ooh, better work fast here. Can you see it turning orange? Oh my. Move fast. Now let's blend out this light color. I do have to say the coverage is nice. I would say like it's a medium to full coverage concealer. It covered that instantly. You can't see any of the spots on my chin. Okay, so the concealer is nice. It does cover. I mean, it's bunching up a little bit in the lines under my eyes, but I always have to set my under eye area. I'm gonna hop off, set my face, and I'll be right back. Okay, next we have this liquid powder magic by Prescriptives. I picked up a little sample after I heard Tati speaking about it in her Becca Hydro Mist wet powder video. I was intrigued. I couldn't bring myself to spend the $30 or $40 it was to get the Becca one, but a sample size of this was like $8. She said that it was the only other liquid powder that she'd ever dealt with, so I was curious to try this. It has an iridescence to it, so I would not use this as a setting powder, but I figured maybe as a highlight powder we could try it. So, okay, so this Prescriptives Magic powder, it looks like that sand that kids get where you squish it and it stays together. It doesn't look just like powder. It almost looks like magnetic grains that kind of are pulled together. So here's the test. Let's see what it feels like. Just feels like a powder to me. Let me see. Doesn't really feel wet. Why is this a liquid powder? It's definitely shimmery. Let me try again here. I guess when you press down, it does kind of feel like it has a wet consistency, but not water. It feels spongy when you press down. But, I mean, this is the powder right here. It doesn't look like liquid. It doesn't really feel that much like liquid. And it doesn't apply like liquid. You can see the dust going everywhere. So it's not like a wet consistency. Interesting. So how should I apply this? With a sponge, perhaps? Just press it on. Can you even see anything? Okay, so it looks like it just kind of melts down into an almost matte powder. I don't see any shimmer on my face at all. So perhaps you can use this as a setting powder. So let me grab my small like setting powder brush, and I'm gonna dip a little bit in, dust it off in the cap, And let's see if we can swirl this on my face and just give me like a glowy finished look. I don't know. Do you guys see any difference? I'm not really impressed by this powder. I was hoping it would feel more interesting and would do more on the skin, but it's not really doing much, so I think for me this is a pass. All right, we have product number 1, 2, and 3. Moving on to number 4, our 2 blushes from l.a.girl. These are the Just Blushing blushes. I've heard so much about these from YouTubers, and they've been raving about how amazing these are, and I think the price for these are like $3 or $4. I have Just Natural and I have Just Glowing, so I have a matte one and a shimmery one. So let's swatch these both. Okay, so here is Just Natural. It comes like with this cool arrow pattern. I don't want to mess it up, but oh well. Okay, so right here is the first one, the Just Natural. Next we have the Just Glowing, which looks like it has a bit of a shimmer in it. Oh, I just ran them together. So here is the shimmery one, here is the matte. I think I'll start with the matte one. So when the sun starts shining right here, my camera is adjusting and making my face dark and shadowy. Okay, so my apologies if this ends up looking washed out. The sun shining right into my background is really throwing off my camera, so my apologies if it's in and out during this video. But here are the 2 blushes. I'm going to take a Smashbox Angled powder brush and dip into the matte one first and see what that looks like on the cheeks. Seems pretty pigmented. That's a nice, just like peachy flesh color. It's not as pigmented as I thought it would be. I'm doing three different rounds of blush on that cheek, but it's pretty. Now I want to switch, but I don't want to have this color affecting it, so that brings me to product number 5. This is the Quick Dry Clean Dry Brush Spray from Sonia Kashuk. This is not a first impressions, I'm sorry. I've actually been using this for the past 2 weeks and I absolutely love it. You can spray your brush, wipe it off, and it's dry and ready to go for your next product. And it's in a convenient little can, so ready? Wipe off the blush. Brush is clean and dry and ready to go for the next color. So now let's go into Just Glowing on the other cheek. This seems to be picking up quite a bit more. This one definitely has a bit of like a golden glow, golden sheen to it. It's very pretty, very soft. I like that. I think I'm going to actually even up the cheeks by adding it over here. Very pretty. Okay, now that I've had a chance to try all 5 of these products, let me give you my thoughts. The Marc Jacobs Genius Gel Foundation, I think it looks really pretty. The shade is too dark for me, but if I find a lighter shade at Marshall's, I'll definitely pick it up. It's a nice, like, light to medium coverage foundation, so when I'm having a better skin day, this will look amazing. But I paired it with the Laura Geller Double Take Baked Versatile Powder Foundation in Fair for a little added coverage, and it looks beautiful. So these two together give me that, like, high medium coverage that I look for. So I think this is a nice foundation. Definitely pick it up if you enjoy, you know, radiant finish foundations in the, like, light medium coverage range. I think it's a nice foundation. No complaints about that one. Next, we had the Colourpop No Filter Concealers. These oxidize like crazy. I mean, it looked light and it looked like the color of my sweater, but by the end of filming, it was like brown and orange or brown and peach. So the fair one turns peach and the light one turns darker brown. Not brown, darker tan. So keep that in mind if you're going to order the concealers. Go 1 to 2 shades lighter than you think you will need. When I blended them out, they didn't seem as obvious once they had oxidized. Okay, so Aside from the oxidation, they have decent coverage. They will settle into the lines if you don't set it. Like right now, they look fine. I ended up setting it with my Ruby Kisses Never Touch Up. It says color correcting finishing powder, but it's just an invisible transparent powder to kind of lighten things up. And that worked just fine. So I will continue to use these, but again, keep in mind they oxidize, they get darker. Be aware, you've been warned. Next up, we had the Prescriptives Magic Liquid Powder. I would pass on this. I don't really see the point of it. It doesn't feel wet like I thought it would. It doesn't do anything amazing for my skin. It's not iridescent enough to be a highlight. It's not matte enough to really be an all-over setting powder. I don't understand this product. So if any of you have used this and know what I'm missing or what I'm doing wrong, please let me know in the comments down below. I would love to continue to use this. I just don't understand it. So perhaps I need to do some more research and find out how this is actually supposed to be used. So I don't get this one. All right, moving on to product number 4. These l.a.girl Just Blushing blushes. For the price, they're nice. I mean, I'm not blown away by the pigmentation, but the colors are pretty. I have a matte peach and like a peach with a golden flush to it. Both nice colors for the spring and summer. I will continue to use these, but am I going to be running out and buying the entire range of blushes? Probably not. So they're good blushes. And then product number 5, the Sonia Kashuk Quick Clean Dry Brush Spray. I am obsessed with this stuff. I've been using it pretty much every day or every other day on my eye brushes if I want to switch colors, or my highlighter brush if I wear a pink highlight one day and I want to go gold the next and I don't want to mix them. I use this to clean it. It works amazingly. It's so fast and it leaves your brushes dry so you're ready to go. So this is a lazy girl's dream to cleaning her brushes. So thank you, Sonia Kashuk. And then that wraps up this 5 first impressions video. As always, it's inspired by Rach Love, so go over to her channel and leave her some love. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, and as always, I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.